Welcome to the Casino Insiders, everybody. I'm your host, Deacon Kane. I kind of want to jump right into things today, and it's going to be kind of interesting just due to the fact of this. The first thing I want to talk about is the NFL. Second thing I want to talk about is politics, which I hate politics, so therefore we're going to kind of be jumping into that. So I apologize. And let's kind of get started and get going. All right, I feel like ESPN now, and here we go. All right, I gotta talk a little funny. No, I'm just kidding. So the first game of the weekend is going to be this Saturday at 1:30. Right now it's actually Saturday morning, about 10 to 2 a.m. Just got off work, decided to get this out and have a little bit of fun. You got Cleveland Browns at Houston Texans. D'Amico Ryan has done a great job with the Houston Texans. First time playoff bid with the Texans. First time coach. Hell of a job. The only problem that the Texans have is they have an Ohio State quarterback. Yep, that's right, Ohio State quarterback. Cleveland Browns are playing phenomenal. They just don't have a quarterback. But Flacco is playing out of his derriere. Let's just be honest there, folks. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen here. Is Cleveland's defense going to carry him like they did against the Niners way back when? Or is the rookie sensation CJ Stroud going to step up? I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens. But Cleveland's favored by 2.5. The money line is Cleveland Browns negative 145, Houston Texans plus 125. Your over under is 44.5 points. I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns minus 2.5, guys. All right, we move to the afternoon game where it's supposed to be minus 0 degrees, which, yeah, minus 0 degrees. Go figure, right? That's going to be a little chilly. You got Miami going into Kansas City. Yeah, that's just does not make for a good mixture. You got a you got a team that goes from naturally 80 degrees to minus. Ouch, that's cold. But here we go. This is the funny thing. The money line is Miami Dolphins plus 160. The Kansas City Chiefs minus 190. I honestly thought it'd be a lot higher than that. The over under is 43.5. That is another thing that I was thinking about. I thought that was going to be more like 39, maybe even 37, just because of the weather itself. Myself, I'm going to take the under on that, I think. And unfortunately, as much as I can't stand it, I'm going to take the Chiefs and the minus 3.5 points. Now, here we go. Now, I keep on hearing different things in regards to this game. The Pittsburgh Steelers at Buffalo Bills. Both of them are both cold weather teams, so that's not going to be a factor. The Bills are favored by 10 points, so it's Bills minus 10. TJ Watt is not going to be playing, is my understanding, with the MCL sprain. So here we go. These odds are ridiculous. Your money line, Pittsburgh Steelers are plus 380. The Buffalo Bills are minus 500. I don't know about people betting on this game. I mean, I think it's one of those games you wouldn't even bet the money line, but that's just me. Your over under is 35.5 points. Now, the weather in this, it's supposed to be snowing like crazy. Apparently, they've been having people out there already getting the snow out of the stadium. It's just been filling up. They're expecting 1 to 3 feet of snow. Wind with the wind chill, it's supposed to be like negative 20 degrees. I think this is going to be colder than when San Diego Chargers went to Cincinnati back in 1982. So it's going to be crazy. Now, here we go. We've got the Green Bay Packers going into Dallas. Minus 7.5 point. Oh, by the way, I'm taking the Bills. Sorry about that, guys. Taking the Bills minus 10.5. but I think it's going to be a lot closer game than that. Green Bay Packers going into Dallas. Dallas is favored by 7.5 points. Green Bay is plus 280. Dallas is a minus 350. The over-under is 50.5 points. I'm going to take Green Bay in this game. This is going to be my big upset, I think. I like Green Bay in this game. I think that Green Bay goes in to Dallas and just destroys Dak Prescott. And Dallas's defense is not going to know what to do with Jordan Love. That's my opinion. So there we go. The next game is the Los Angeles Rams at Detroit Lions. These two teams played earlier in the year. The Rams pulled it off, but Detroit came back. It was a rough game for Detroit. Wow. The Lions are favored by 3.5 points. That's going to be your Sunday night game. The Rams are plus 150. Detroit's a minus 175. A total over and under is 51.5 points. Whew. This is kind of, in my opinion, more of a pick-em than anything, because the Rams are actually playing pretty decent ball right now. I think with that being said, I am going to take the Lions. I'm going to take that chance on the Lions and go from there. Go Lions. All right, we got the Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is your Monday Night Football game. Now, the Eagles are just spiraling down. I mean, hardcore. Tampa Bay Bucks are doing a great job playing. Baker Mayfield's turned his season around. We're going to have to see what Baker Mayfield can do. You know, under the bright lights, they are playing in Tampa Bay. This one's going to be another interesting because Philly's favored on the road, -3. It's, money line is minus 150 Philly. Tampa Bay is plus 130. The over-under is 44.5. You've got major injuries on Philly's side. Not too many injuries on the Buccaneers. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers in this game. I think that's going to be the pick. I think that's going to be your upset, and it's going to throw a lot of craziness out there in the playoff race. So those are my picks, guys. So wanted to get those up and out of the way. So hopefully you guys like them, and we'll go from there. All right. Now, I wanted to talk about the slots. Okay? And the reason why I want to talk about slots is this. What a lot of people don't realize is the Slot Act. Back in 1977, the government, of course, always has to get their money. Okay? And they put a limit of $1,200 winning a jackpot, and you had to pay 24% tax. Yes, it is 24%. Now, there is a congresswoman from Nevada, a congressman from Pennsylvania, who have co-chaired this change, and it is called the Slot Act, and it's literally a 2-page bill that they have put together to allow our politicians to vote on it. And as we all know, they have asked for the Secretary of State, I'm sorry, not Secretary of State, Secretary of the Treasury, to look it over. And the reason being is to take the inundated IRS and take a little bit of the onus off of their back. Because as we all know, the IRS is impacted. So they're trying to help the IRS out and change the dollar amount from $1,200 to $5,000. And not only that, but take a lot of the pressure off the casinos as well, because there are a lot of $1,200 to $4,999 jackpots that do go out, which people don't understand that. And not only that, but that helps a lot of people out in the long run. That's kind of pretty sweet. So now, with that being said, I got to thinking, and I know you guys all know last week I talked about how no politician has followed through who said that they would get that bumped up from $1,200 to $5,000. Well, why don't we write to Janet Yellen, and why don't we sit there and start kind of putting feelers out to her, start asking her to go ahead and raise the limit. And then we can also write our congressmen and congresswomen and ask them to do the same. Now, I know that it may or may not work, and if it does, great. The bill is H.R. 3125, and that is the Slot Act. And I'm actually going to read this bill to you guys. It's not very big, okay? To amend the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 to increase the information reporting threshold for slot winnings. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled. Section 1, Reporting Threshold for Slot Machines. A. In general, Section 6041 of the Internal Revenues Code of 1986 is amended by adding, at the end, the following new subsections. H. Slot machines. 1. In general, no return shall be required under subsection A in the case of a payment in the course of a trade or business of winnings from one slot machine play unless the winnings from one such play are at least $5,000 without reduction for the amount wagered. 2. Inflation adjustment. In the case of the payments in any calendar year beginning after 2024, the $5,000 amount in paragraph 1 shall be increased by an amount equal to A. Such dollar amount multiplied by B. The cost of living adjusted determined under section 1F3 for the calendar year in which the taxable year begins, determined by the substituting 2023 for 2016 in subparagraph AII thereof. If any increase determined under the preceding sentence is not a multiple of 100, such increase shall be rounded to the nearest 100. Effective date, the amendment by this section shall apply to payments after December 30th, 2023. That is the amended bill. Now, as you can see, and obviously that hasn't been taken care of yet, so that's how phenomenal our government is. Kind of awesome, huh? Why wouldn't they go ahead and take care of this? Get it done. This has to be one of the easiest, quickest things that they can do. I'm going to tell you why. It's because they're lazy and they're money hungry. But the funny thing is people would actually make more money over $5,000 then. And guess what? In the long run, they would make more money because you're being taxed at 24%. Did you let that sink in? 24%. That is quite a bit of money. Okay? So, just in case you didn't know. So, I'm going to give you Janet Yellen's address. And you can address it to Janet Yellen at 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20220. All right, I hope you guys all got that. Again, it's 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20220. Okay? Now, if we can all do this, why not? Let's do it. Let's see what we can accomplish. I mean, we're gamblers. We like to have fun. We work at casinos. Let's get this done. Let's be these advocates because obviously our politicians aren't going to do it. They're not going to get it done, and all they're going to do is lie about it because that's what politicians do. Am I right or am I wrong? Thank you very much. Now, let's see. I wanted to find. That's the Department of Treasury. What was the Department of Congress? That was the other thing that I wanted, and I'm going to find that real quick for you. Congress and Senate mailing addresses. Thought I had those up, but knowing me, I don't know. Here we go. The main address for the U.S. Senate is the United States Senate, Washington, D.C., 20510. So you can find out who your representative is and you can send them an email address. But I also highly recommend you find their address, send them a letter. But I also highly recommend you find their email and you send them an email. You know, like once every hour on the hour for like 3 months. See if they actually do something. See if they actually will do something. There are special instructions, and what I'll do is I will put actually, here we go. For contacting a senator, you could use the standard address, the honorable name, whatever, United States Senate, Washington, D.C., blah, blah, blah. For correspondence, a Senate committee, or to the Senate committee chair, you can use name of committee. Okay, that's cool. You can find addresses for each senator on senator's website or state's web page. There you go. You can also do that. Okay, guys? So every state is different, obviously. You all have different representatives. So I highly recommend you guys check that out. Okay, so I kind of threw those things at you. I know I'm kind of talking your ear off tonight or this morning or whatever. You know, we're at the 18-minute mark. I'm hoping you guys had an opportunity to go and check out the new book that I have out there. And don't forget to get your apparel, the Casino Insiders apparel. You can go to www.thecasinoinsiders, click on Deuces the Shop, and you can go and get your slides, your hoodies, your t-shirts, your drinking around Fremont Street, which I highly recommend because that is fun, by the way. And don't forget the book. You can go on Amazon, and if you have Kindle Unlimited, guess what? You get to get the book for free, so you can read them. We have blackjack and we have roulette, basically, and it's about learning how to master them. So if you guys have any questions, please address those to consider. Excuse me, let me do that again. To casinoinsiders@gmail.com. Again, that's to casinoinsiders@gmail.com. Again. Don't forget to write your congressman or congresswoman. The address is there. Thank you all. Dramatic pause. I'd like to thank you all for listening. You guys take care and deuces.